Hi, my name is Rene coming from Uganda, East Africa. Welcome to this channel. If you're here for the very first time, you are most welcome. If you're the returning subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by, watching the videos, liking, sharing. I don't take that for granted. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things that I wish I knew in my 20s, the things that I most regret in my 20s, because now I'm in my early 30s, and when I look back at the opportunities, at the things I could have done in my 20s that could have been a pivotal start for what I believe for, what I dream for the future, and I didn't do. And now that I'm in my 30s, of course, I have learned all these things being in the countryside and staying all the way. Countryside has taught me the great code of life. And now that I look back at the things that I didn't do in my 20s, I'm like, what was I thinking? What was wrong with me? What was I hoping for? So those are things that I'm going to be sharing with you. And I don't know, your age bracket, you could be 40 and maybe you regret about your 30s. You could be 50 and you regret about your 50s, your 40s. You could be 60, regretting about your 50s. So whichever age bracket you're in, but I want us to talk about, like when you look back, you're like, oh, I wish I did this and this, because this time, in that time, I had all the opportunity to do this, and perhaps if I did that and this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, now I would be living a better life. Maybe I would be building, not starting from zero. Maybe I would have started from 10 if I had started doing this earlier. Such scenarios, this is what I'm going to be talking about, and I hope we share together in the comment section. I'm going to be responding to all the comments, so go ahead and chat with me. Tell me what you regret about any specific age bracket that you regret about.
In the stillness of the night, under the moonlight so bright, our hearts are joined in harmony. I love.
So for starters, in Uganda or most African countries, you are regarded as an adult from the age 18. I know in some nations they regard an adult from 16, but in Uganda specifically, being an African country, they regard someone to be an adult at about age 18. And most of that time you are in school. For example, by about 18, I was still in my high school. I was in my A level, which is like senior high school. And also, because our kind of education system takes us for a long time, we do almost like 10 years in primary school, or what some of you call elementary school, and do 6 years in high school. That is O level, which is like junior high school, and 2 years for A level, which is senior high school. And then from there, if you want to continue, you choose. If you want to do bachelor's, most bachelor's courses, the least that you can do is 3 years. But of course, if you do like architecture or medical courses, you will take like 5 years. And mostly for 5 years. For lawyers, I think they do 4 years. Are they 4 years? I think they do 4 years. And then they do 1 year in LDC. So literally, you finish all your teenage days, all your teenage years, still being your child, like still being a child, if I may say that way, because if you're still being paid school fees for, you're still being taken care of, that means you are still a child. So number one that I regret most that I didn't do in my 20s was a failure to save. When you're in 20s, you think, oh my God, I'm young. According to how everything is rated, you're like, oh my God, I'm young. I still have time. I will do this and that tomorrow. But now let me just enjoy my life. So basically, even when I got the opportunities that I worked, and they were like somewhere like really nice opportunities, I never used to save up. I ate all and everything that I earned there and then. I was living like, oh, tomorrow will have its own concerns. I'm just in my 20s. What is the need for saving? What do I need to think about that? Maybe I will think about that later in the future. And the truth is, I had the dreams, I had the projects that I think if I had started working on them then, right now I would be enjoying the benefits of having started early. But I did not do that. And now that I'm in my 30s, I look back and I was like, what the heck? What was I thinking? Why did I have to waste all that money on eating, not investing anything, not saving up anything? I would work money, I would work and earn, and I would spend all my money on eating. And it is a sad regret, when you look back and you're like, I had all these opportunities, I had all these monies that I earned, but nothing to show for it. Okay, nevertheless, even when you work on a small, low-paying job, there is that need that always pushes you to save. But even then, I would just be like, oh my God, tomorrow will take care of its own concerns. Let me just eat my money. And that time, I wasn't having so much bills to pay because I was living with my family in the city. And guess what? I now look back and I'm like, why in the world did I have to spend all the money? Why didn't I save up? Why didn't I start that and this project that I now look forward to starting? And it's not too late, of course. It's not late, of course. But if I had started early, right now, maybe I would be looking into venturing into a bigger project of the same, maybe doing something extreme, maybe, you know what I'm saying? When you look back and you're like, what in the world was I thinking? That was about my 20s. I never saved up any dime. I chopped every money that I got, that I earned in my 20s. And that is a sad reflection to look back. And it's not too late. It's not late either. But if I started early, I would have been now reaping the fruits of my labor. Another thing that I regret in my 20s that I didn't do is that I wasn't adventurous enough. If I was adventurous enough, I would have figured out what I want to do, which code of life I want to live, which purpose I should serve. I would have discovered my talents, my skills, the things that make me comfortable, the things that I prefer doing. But even when I knew them, I was fearing to adventure into what I knew works best for me because I was like, oh my God, if I do this, honestly, I'm a good girl. I'm a good Christian African girl. And, sometimes being not adventurous is good because it protects you from the very worst that could have happened to you, but it also holds you back in a way that you will never discover your potential. Another thing that I regret most about my 20s is this is so funny. Another thing that I regret about in my 20s is being too comfortable. Failing to push myself to look for better opportunities when I had that time, when my papers were still fresh, when I could actually upgrade on studies after the bachelor's degree, when I could have gotten better opportunities, because that was very possible. But I chose comfort over what? Over discomfort. Should we say that like that? Because when I look back, I could have upgraded my studies, you guys. I could have, applied. But you see, every time I got like a job to do, even when it was low paying, even if it was not in my own career code, but as long as I'm earning something, I never thought of, pushing myself to get any other opportunity. I never pushed myself to do more studies. I never pushed myself to get other skills. And now that I look back, I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Because literally, the things that I was comfortable in are now not things that I look back and I'm like, I want to do that. And they were paying me petty money. But because I didn't want to go through the trouble of being interviewed, the trouble of, putting your applications, dropping your CVs here and there, I chose comfort. And before you know it, 1 year is down the road, 2 years down the road, before you know it, there are 4 years and you don't have any savings, you don't have any skill acquired, you don't have any opportunity better that you got, and you look back and you're like, what in the world was I thinking? But you know what? Then you encourage yourself. You're like, I'm just 20. I'm still young. I'm going to achieve these other things in later years. I mean, other people get all these things at around 40, at around 30, and now I'm in 30, and I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Why didn't I push myself and, gotten other skills, upgraded my studies, applied in different companies, different banks, different organizations, and perhaps I would be working somewhere, maybe my dream job, is that I wasn't competitive enough, So when I talk about competitive, I talk about healthy competition, not a competition that causes you to be greedy, to be jealousy, to be envious of other people. But when you're competitive enough, it means you always push yourself to live your comfort, to be the best version of yourself, and to always look for greater opportunities. These points might look like they are being repetitive, but they are not. When you are competitive, you always target the best. You don't choose for mediocrity. You don't choose for the average. You always take risks. And I'm a kind that feared risks, I was like, oh my God, if I do this, and what if it turns out this way? What if it turns out that way? Oh my God. And when it's better to do some mistakes when you're young. It's better to learn some things when you're young, because you're young, You're young, you're growing, it's justifiable. But the older you grow, the more choosy you become, the less risk-taking you become. And before you know it, years have gone past, and you look back and you're like, what in the world was I thinking? What in the world was I thinking? Why didn't I do that in this, They didn't need a lot of money to start it up. All I need was to be very focused, very disciplined, very determined, and have the need to start. But I did not do that. And now that I look back, and especially now that I'm in the countryside, I'm like, wait, if I had done this, or if I had started this project way back when I was still in my 20s, right now it would have multiplied, increased, and been fruitful, and now I would be reaping from what I could have done then. So now that I'm in my 30s, I don't want to waste any time. I just want to keep building something every single day, brick by brick, whether it is physical, tangible, invisible, intangible, whatever the case is. If I must build something, I should go for it. I do not want to have any more regret in the next age bracket, to look back and I'm like, oh, I wish I did this and that in my 30s. So this is something that I look back and I'm like, my 20s were such good opportunistic years, opportunistic age. Why didn't I do this? ABCD. What was on my mind? And now I've already told you that what was on my mind was eat your money, enjoy your youth, because time is still there. You're gonna do this tomorrow. You can do it next year. You can do it. You're still 22. You're so young. You can do this maybe when you're 25. And then before you know it, the opportunity that you had, the money that you earned are gone, and maybe the opportunity is closed, and now you have to start all over again, and then you are not learning any lesson, and before you know it, you are in your 30s and you are tired of working petty jobs, and you have to come back to the countryside, and guess what? You are starting from scratch, and the things that you are looking forward to do are the things that you looked forward to do when you were in your early 20s. And though it's not too late, it's late kinda, and I wish I never waited for this long. Let me break this down for you. There is no better time to start, and at times when you find yourself, you have the dreams, you have the vision, and it doesn't need like a lot to start. Just go for it. For example, me, when I said the things that I regret most, where I didn't save, where I didn't invest, the things that I didn't do in my 20s, staying in the countryside has blessed me. When it has taught me about life, it has given me an opportunity to explore the nature and relate creation and love the word of God more and fear the Lord more, because when I see what he has done, I am blessed. I am most blessed to have a mother that I stay with, that I don't buy food, I don't buy sugar, I don't buy anything, I am not paying any bills, if you know what I'm saying. I am glad to have a roof over my head and very grateful because I don't have to pay rent. But the starting over, all in all, would have been better if I had put something in place prior to me coming back home, It would have been such a relief. It would have been such a joy. It would have pushed me to do more and more. But right now I'm starting from scratch, and it is not easy to start from scratch. It is not easy to start from zero. It's not easy to start when you could have started earlier. So whatever age bracket you're in, if you have anything to do it now, do it today, do it. Just start. I'm glad that I have this channel that I'm sharing these words of insights, words of wisdom here, because I believe, my son, you need this. My daughter, you need this. My grandchild, my grandson, you will need this. So I hope they are kept safe. I hope they find them. And they know my struggles in my 30s. They know the regrets that I have about my 20s, so that they don't do the same mistakes, So when is the right time to start? It's never too late. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to do what you must do, but it's not a good experience to look back and you're like, oh, these things that I'm doing now, I should have done them in this and this phase of life, So this is where I come with my experience to share what I regret most about my 20s, and I hope it blesses someone out here. And if you have anything to start up, you go ahead and start up, because the right moment, the right opportunity is now. So in my 20s, I had all these opportunities. One fundamental opportunity that I had, when you are at a university, there is internship training that you do in the career code that you are studying for. So in my second year, we used to do trainings twice. In my first year, or no, in my second year and my third year. So in my second year, I had this chance to work in a wonderful finance institution in quotes. And when we were done with trainings, these people were so nice. The staff was so nice. The staff were so nice to me. They taught me things that they treated me like their baby sister. They treated me so good. And now we're done with school. No, we are done with internship training. And when I was back to school, to campus, I was doing day program because we had 2 programs in our university, evening program and day program. So I was on day program. Day program means that you're doing all your lectures before 6 p.m., and I was called. The manager gave me a call. Hello, Lynette, how have you been? How are you doing? How is campus? How are books? Can you be able to work while studying? Can you come and take this opportunity and keep studying? And the me that was in my early 20s, I looked back. No, I was actually 20, I think. I looked back and I was like, no, how am I going to do this? How am I going to study while working? I'm so used to study morning, afternoon lectures. I can't juggle. Is it juggle? I can't juggle around, whatever the word is, but I can't coordinate me leaving my day program studies to go work and then come back for evening. What if I lose my marks? What if I don't be able to concentrate on books and studying? And I told the manager after a while that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to fast forward. I turned down the opportunity of me working, and it is something that I still regret up to now, because there are many people that had to study while working and they excelled, they graduated. And if I had begun my career when I was given an opportunity, especially in a place where I was given internship placement, I would have gone far in my career. And it became so hard after my studies to apply. It became so hard for me to get a job. It became so hard for me to continue in my career. And to cut the story short, I'm now here, seated, enjoying the breeze in the countryside on a tree. So when I come here to tell you that you don't let yourself, don't be so rigged, don't be so be a little bit flexible. Be flexible to know which opportunity is better than the other. Be very flexible to know when it is time for you to go for something, because some opportunities you will never get to have them all your life. I had one shot to start my career while studying, and I did not take it. And up to now, I never got that chance ever again. All that mattered then was school. And guess what? I finished school, and all that mattered after school was a career. And there was no career for me. I started doing petty jobs, being paid petty money, and I got tired. And now I'm here sharing my insights with you. So, and also another thing that I learned about in my 20s, if you're not comfortable, if you are not satisfied where you are working, with how you are treated and how much money you are paid, do not work there for so long, because it is something that I did. Like, I would be somewhere working doing a petty job, being paid little and barely minimum wage, and I would still cling on to that for survival. And if I had, left, I would have gotten another opportunity. So when you are young, I'm speaking about those that are young, really, that you don't have responsibilities, because when you have responsibilities, let's say you have a family to take care of, children to take care of, and all the stuff, it becomes harder for you to live. But when you are still a sole person, you are your own responsibility, it is good to take chances, good to take risks, good to not wait on to something that is not satisfying your need, your potential, that is not being so good to you. So that is something that I've also learned over the year. I look back and I'm like, I wasted 4 years doing that petty job and I got nothing from there. And then I left, I went here and I also wasted another 3 years. What was I thinking? What in the world was going through my mind? I came here, wasted 2 more years, Anyways, all blah 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 spoken. I'm here to encourage someone in your 20s. Go for your career, go for your project, go for your vision, go for your skills, your talents, your business. Go for anything and everything that you must go for. I am not a risk taker, and I also protect myself from being in a very regrettable circumstances. But yeah, it's good to stay ambitious, also very ambitious. So if you are in your 20s and you are listening to this, please hear from my experience and do what you must do when you must do it, and you will enjoy all the fruits. To be very honest, the right time to start is today. Now, okay, is it a good plan? Yes, plan. For example, before I left the city, before I resigned my job, I told my boss prior around May that this is the last year I'm working here. Next year, I'm not going to come back work for you. And this is it. And you guys, when it was around this time, right now we are in October. We are ending October. I looked back and I was like, what in the world was I thinking, telling my boss that this is the last year I am working here? I don't have enough savings. I was like, I don't have enough savings. Where will I start from? How do I go back to the countryside without money? But anyways, I had made up and I came. And when I came, God has been good that my savings pushed me for some time. And people in my family, for example, my mom has given me money, and of course, ironically, I should be the one blessing them. I should be the one spending on them, spending on my family. So it is good to plan, but the planning begins today. You plan to save today, you plan to invest today, you plan to retire today, you plan to start over that project, that business, that skill, whatever it is, today. There is no like tomorrow. You plan it, you execute it, you give yourself ample time. You're like, I'm gonna work on this by the end of the year, and you start it. You don't sleep around, because the Bible calls those ones a lazy bone, and then he says poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. If you know what bandits are, they are those armed robbers that you are not planning for. You're not thinking they will attack you, but just as you're walking, they come and attack you, and they take everything that you have. And then the Bible continues to say, scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. Because why? You liked sleep. You became a lazy bone. So that's why I'm saying you plan. Precisely, you plan. After planning, you show up. Keep doing what you're doing, and when the right time reaches, you pack your bags, you go and start what you must start, or you save where you must save, or you invest where you must invest. So maybe this is my advice. For me, this is my advice that I give myself now that I'm 30. I'm not giving any excuses. I have to do what I must do when I must do it. It is just a discipline that I have to do every single day, that I must do what I must do without any excuse, without anything that I have to say. success. Procrastination is the biggest enemy of success. Some of you may ask yourselves, what is that word? What does it mean? Procrastination means you putting everything on a hold. Okay, it means for you to keep pushing what you should have done today, the next day, the next year, the next time, It robs of you chances, it robs you opportunities, it robs your time, it robs everything that would have been very helpful in that moment. So I don't want to be a procrastinator. I just want to do what I must do when I must do it. And now that I've learned this in my early 30s, no more regret. I will do what I must do when I must do, taking care of myself, trusting God, and also not putting myself in risk situations. I don't want to put myself in risk situations because I don't know if I can bear the consequences. So in the early 2020, COVID-19 hit and I had to come back home. Literally everyone was home, We were not working and almost everything was closed down. Only those that are very risk takers, that go-getters, that are very, very ambitious are the ones that earned a lot during COVID. But some of us that are not so much of risk takers, that always want to take things slow, were home. And guess what? I was home and I didn't have money. And and you've been working and who are stuck for months. And even after COVID, post-COVID times, the money was not so much in saturation as it was before COVID. There is something that changed when COVID hit the world. The economies are now just stabilizing, but they were not like that previously. So what happened is I am now home. We are all stuck home and I don't have any savings. And guess what? Was I working? Yes. What was happening with your money? I used it, the money. And I woke up. I told myself the next time I go for a job, the next time I go to work, regardless of how small I'm paid. And you guys, I'm not kidding. I used to be paid little money. My paycheck was so slim, but I made sure that I started saving. It was really late because I was now looking into giving my time a break, get the heck out of that job, look for something better. But it was also not easy. Post-COVID times were not really good times for job transfers, job applying, and I looked back at all the other times that I had wasted, and I'm like, I wish I had done this, that, and now I don't want to think about it anymore, because now I am building my dreams. I am working on what I must work on every single day. I have to put something out there, and I want to redeem the times that I wasted and also prepare for the times ahead. God willing, we will see success. So when it comes to career, I used to put my eggs in one basket. Putting eggs in one basket means like you put all your opportunities, all your goals, all your vision in one ideal opportunity. Let's say job, okay, let's say you're working and you don't think about investing, you don't think about saving, You are looking at the next paycheck and you are not saving up anything. Feels like all your hopes is onto that job. And when that time crashes, when that time reaches, you are like, holy Jesus, where do I start from? Every time you're like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, my God, let me sleep a little longer. Oh my God, it's now 8 a.m. Can I just wake up at around 10? Then you're like, oh my God, I just have to wake up at around midday. Then before you know it, the day has gone by and you have done nothing. And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, I'm just 20. What am I struggling for? I don't have a child. I don't have a need. I'm being taken care of. I'm sleeping at my family's house. I'm eating, drinking, and having all these things. Why should I wake up? Why should I do these things? You know what will happen? They say, a little extra sleep. Let me see it. Actually, let me read it from here. It says, from Proverbs chapter 6. Why don't we learn from... you guys, let's learn from Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6. It says, take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. But you lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. There is a scripture in the Bible that talks about, this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10. It talks about a little sleep, a little slumber, folding of hands, yet poverty will come and strike you. So it says, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travels, and thy want as an armed man. Let me read it in a different version. This version it says, a little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sleep is beautiful. And for a fact, all the people that they have had mental health problem, it comes from, one of their biggest symptom or sign is that they lack sleep. Or even when they try to sleep, they get like nightmares, attacks in the sleep, and they can't sleep. And I'm a kind that sleeps even in the storm. If I'm if I really want to go to sleep and I'm really tired and fatigued a little bit, I can sleep on every, even in the storm I can sleep anywhere, and I thank God for sleep. But now they are saying, when will you wake up? They are not talking about this normal sleep where you must sleep. We are talking about when you give excuses. Oh my God, let me sleep a little longer. A little longer. I'm just 22. I'm just 25. There is still 26 and 27. I can wake up at 30. By the time you wake up, you will look back and you will realize that you have wasted a lot of time. So, the Bible says, take a lesson from the ants. They don't have a prince, they don't have a governor, they don't have anybody that leads them, but they work hard all summer round. They work hard all summer round, store up, gather up food for the winter. And a normal person like me sleeps or works, eats all the money, and don't have savings, don't have investments, don't have bills to pay, but you don't even have any money, but you work every single day, and you keep giving yourself excuses. I will do it tomorrow, I will do it the next day, I will do it the next year, I will do it the next 5 years. Hey, get up, start doing what you must do, because the right time is now. I'm telling you, I'm telling myself that the right time to do is now. I'm telling you because these are things that I have learned a hard way. You guys, if I had planned earlier, if I had planned in my 20s, I would have stopped doing what I was doing as soon as I clocked 30. But I had to push myself a little bit one more year, because your girl had to stay, your girl had to eat, your girl had to save up, your girl had to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And still that was not enough. Even by the time I told myself I must get out of here, that was not enough for me to say I saved much. And I've learned that a hard way. God has been faithful. I've been blessed staying in the countryside. One. So to you, my fellow subscriber, regardless of the age bracket you are in, if you have listened to this video up to this end, this is my experience. The things that I'm sharing here is by experience. And now that I have learned all this, the code of life now, I'm sharing my insights here. I hope it could help you. And I know whatever age bracket you're in, the time to start is now. You could be 40, you could be 50, you could be 60, you could be 70. I don't know. You could be 20, you could be 30. And in between, whatever close gap that you are in that age bracket, just do what you must do when you must do it. Just show up, just do something. And don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your projects, on your dreams, on your visions, on your skills, on your talents, on your savings, on your investments, on your family. Name it. Don't give up, because you are. I keep telling you in every video that if you don't do it, ask yourself, who will do it? And the fact that you're doing what you're doing, bravo, you are doing the best. So keep showing up, keep doing what you must do, and let the Lord be your guide. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the biggest enemy of success. Anyways, this is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Put your thoughts in the comments section. Tell me what you think about today's video, and also your experiences, and I'm going to be enjoying chatting with you. See you in the next one video.